Hello friend, when you heard this story, you will realize what true love and affection really mean. It this world nothing in greater than love, care and a friend's affection for their child. There is the painful story of a child who grew up without mother and father. I promise after hearing it, you will be moved to trust this story at 30 her parent tear head out at midnight, then the incredibly happiness. Have you ever heard of a child being sold, not for money, but for a mere bag of rice? Abigail was only 30 when it happened. This cold and allow warning oversight. Fooded clothes she had never known what it felt like to eat, to hear suspension, or wear a new dress. Her parents, Johnson and Sonsna, lived in a crumbling mud house on the outskirts of the village. They barely had enough to eat. On hot afternoon, rice hard and plumina and rice complete from the city. Drive into the village. They were looking for a chair to take in the rice. Johnson and Sasna save it as a golden, apparently maybe even driving. Internation, they had 5 other children to care for, and food had become a luxury. So what rice had hidden them a lager shock of rice and promised that eventually without live a better life. They arranged without hesitation, no firework, no question. Just like that, Abigail was gone, throated like an unwanted item. At first, Abigail thought she was going to live a dream life in the city. The big gate, the trade floors, and the suite. Smiling fountains overwintered her since she smiled for the first time in a week, but her joy was short-lived. What awaited her behind the closed door of that mansion was a nightmare once then poverty. She once threatened like a danger. She once even threatened like a menace. She was threatened like this. Plumaged broadcast order at here from sunrise to sunset. Any mistake, no matter how small, was followed by waiting or being looked up without food. Rice hard was no better, silent, cold, and distant. Something here looked at her with an inconfrontable stance that made her heart pound. She scrubbed floor, which Idris closed also meant she was allowed to eat, and cried herself to sleep every night. The rice life was a trip. 2 years passed, no school, no love, no hope. Then on rice night, Evangeli could I take it anymore. Her back was bronzed, her stomach ashamed from hunger. Her curtains were scattered in trees. The night when the house was silent and dark, she slipped out of the back door and ran. She did know where she was going. She didn't care. She knew was that she had to get out. The next morning, rice hard and policemen discovered her absent. At first, they were frightened. They stormed around the mansion ordering her name, but when she did respond, fancy sit in. Flomina returned to Evangeli Devni room. Her easy scorned the on school bag Evangeli bounced from the village. She opened in it foundation and stoned. Inside was a small founted photo of a little girl, barely 3 years old. Plume's heart skipping. She started at the picture. Her hands trembled, her bones chilled in her toes. The cold in the photo looked extremely like her danger who went missing 30 years again. The small round face, the same tarnisher above here lived every brow. The same easy that hinted here draw for years. Plomina stumbly backward and reset to her bedroom. She tore open drawers, scouted out album and finally found what she was looking for. Her missing danger photo. She placed both pictures side by side. He hunted shock. They were the same child. The screamed Riceward name, and that was the moment everything changed. Riceward struck forage as Plomina held up bro. Photograph on in easy hand, towards floating here easy. He took them, studied closely, and felt his keenest weakness. The remembrance was indestructible. Abigail was the ex image in their danger, who disappointed without a trace 30 years again. Should I continue writing by Tincham Valley Life? Story Part 2. Plomina stared at the children picture of the house girl. She had body matured, had had trembly her bones choice. In her toast, the child in the photo looked extremely like her danger who went missing 30 years again. The same round face, the same thorny seeds about her lip, every bow, the same every that hunted her dreams for years. Plomina stumbled backward and reached to her bedroom. She tore open drawers, scouted all album and family found what she was looking for, her missing danger's photo. She placed both pictures side by side. Her hands shook. They were the same child. The screamed resound name, and that was the moment everything changed. Riceward struck frozen as Plomina held up broad photograph on in easy hand throws folding here easy. He took them started constantly and filled his canoe weakened. The resemblance was indestructible. Ability was that external imaging of their danger who disparted without a trace 13 years again. For years they had scurried everywhere for their missing danger, but they could find her. It was as if the earth had swallowed their bodyguard. The plane never left them. They stopped climbing verdes. Plomina kept the little girl. Colson's shoes, and they looked in a box she never opened again until now, and all this time she had been raised under their roof as a man. Plomina collapsed into the sofa, sobbing uncomfortably. The guard wedged heavy on her chest. How could she now reconcile her own child? How could she treat her that way? How could she let her sleep on the floor, strawberry sofa? She had punctured her own blood. Richard Stock responded and ability to process the emotion flooding his mind. They had to find her immediately. They searched the inner Nasbrohund question the Gathari first escaped, shop kids and even pen, TV and radio station to make announcements, but she was not rid of Ebongali that everything they drive for a house. Back to the remote village when they had first taken Evangeli, they returned Joshon and Skona house only to find it abandoned. Those quartered to that wounds, the window were broken and oil plants had taken over the years. The company was gone. They escaped around the village and a farm pointed them to another stomach where the completely now lived. When they arrived, Johnson was outside, Sona at beside a small fairy cooking. Plomina did win's time. She showed them the two photographers and screamed. The only question burning in her soul where did not get that guilt from. The compelling force, their easy witnessed in fancy silent, filled the air. Then without shockingly voice they rebelled the truth. 13 years again they were returning from their farm when they heard a body crawling deep inside the forest. At first they ignored it, thinking it was some trick or animal, but something followed them in hidden amongst toast. They found a little girl, barely 2 years old, landing in conscience, covered in strong wounds, power and blood stung on her feet. There was no note, no ID, nothing. They took her house, but we are afford everything in the village warned them to be careful. My stage chilled in the walls. Cold men trembled so they constant sportress. The old man told their that someone had tried to use to chill for a daily sufficiency but filled out of energy. The person abandoned the child to Dio. But the child did Dio. She survived, and so Johnson and so Sona rised here as tear on. Youth hunger pushed them to trade here for food. Resound collapsed into a wooden stock. His head dropper into his hands. Pontomena covered here most turning to Mamphy here scones. The toast burned like fire toast here soul. Abigail was their danger, the little girl they had mourned for years. The same girl they had in Cornjali my started under their own roof. They returned to the city with broken hearts and distressed minds. Police were ordered there searched for her thoroughly, but they turned into week into months, still to Evangeli. Flomena cold, worldly or sleep. Every young girl in the sleep made her heart rise. Every sound made her easy break. Resort to worldly went to work anymore. Her energy was gone. His world felt incomplete. Externally, there months later, something happened. On a cold afternoon, they were driving to a nearby town for a event. The storm were instantly crowded, and traffic movement slowly up. A horns, a large crowd had returned in front of a supermarket. They were shouting, hurting someone on the ground. Flomena courage roars down the window. At first it was just noise and chores. Then she saw a glimpse of a toned drip, dirty leggings and long messy hair. She looked around and her heart deployed. It has eventually blonde, mutant her face was slowing her lips wording and she called up trying to protect herself from the kicks and fountains. The old stove, a heavy thorn had been foised around Evangelical turned consequence to her body. Dropped in fear, the shop smell of Parental filled to the air. The crowd cleaned for free, ready to burn for Evangeli Elovi. Philomena screamed she could not wait for her husband to property park the behind so the third the door opened and resounded out. Her scheme carried as she ran toward to crew no place stop. Resort jumped out and ran. After her fear founding in his chest, but before they arrived, someone had already struck a mistake. against a box, ready to bolt Evolia Elobia. Then the incomparably happiness. To be continued, what do you think Evangeli did that led to this tragedy? Deep to toast in the commons, endure forest to like, share and follow. Take a belly life story so you didn't miss the next part. Thank you very so much. Your time and support. Waiting by teaching life story part 3 at 30 here parent toward here out at midnight. Then the incomparably happiness. A heavy thread had been forens around Abungel's neck here thought curtains cloud to her body drenched in filth. The slope small to of pretense filled to air as the crow cleaned for free, ready to bond poor Evangeli Elovi. Plomina screamed she could not wait for her husband or to property park to vehicle, so she turned to door open and resounded out. Her screams carried as she ran toward the crowd. No place stop. Return jumps out and ran after her face pounding in his chest. But before they arrived, someone had already struck a mistake against a book, ready to brand Evangeli Elovi. Plomina turned herself over Evangeli's body and screamed from the depths of her soul. She my danger, please, please don't I beg you. Grapes reported toast the crow, returns for his way forward, his voice hard with description book. She is our doggers. Please, we are ready to do anything for her. One of the men stocked. She a thief. She took rice and money from Mama Joy stop. She chilled Plomina clear. Evangelion don't movement here easy wear Slovenia short her lip wear bloated, but she was vaulting Worley. Mama Joy, the stop owner, posted toast on crow, holding weapon thornly again her chest, her voice trembling with anger and confusion. She took from me. That guard, she took rise, and my daily stroke over then thorns. Nada, I called here myself. Resort, noted quality, I will pay everything. Rubenly, please just let here live. I took wheels, but the tension is people began to disperse. Some were still grumbly, other choice about what they had just witnessed. Resort here started everything and took Evangeli to the hospital. At the hospital, Evangeli slipped into inconscience. Her old ear twitched, her fever bounced down, but her spirit remained distant. For 2 days she did spoke. She barely opened her eyes. Plomina never left her side. She held her hand tossed the night. Whip's quality when she tossed no one was watching. Richard sat by the window, staring at the girl who had suffering so much. Their own child between by stronger. On the third night, Evangela finally spoke. Her voice was faint, her word broken, but they come without pain, so deep it pointed the room. I was extremely stuck and hungry. I won't stand for day. I sleep under a bronzed people, but they choosed me out. I don't want to sit, but my squamous heart to bed. She's still down here, choice, and she looked at Plomina. I thought I was going to die. Plomina broke down, hurting her toast, rooked here like a body. I am so sorry, so sorry. Later that day, when the doctor confirmed she was stably returned, and Plomina sat beside her bed, tear easy, silent, find crying, returned, cleaner has told, and Garney had her hand. Evangeline, we have something important to tell you. He had heard. Here, with photographers, she stared at them. One was here at 2 years old. Other was a body with tawny, pronounced confusion filled here easy. Plomina took a drip, but that light girl, it you. Abigail looked up slowly. Yuri, not just the girl we look in. Yuri, the child we lost 30 years ago. Silence filled assaults the room. Evangeline longing, trying to possess the world. Rushard continued. You were kidnapped when you were just two. We searched for you everywhere. We never stopped. We don't canon you survived. That you were but trees softening. Evangelists most opened, scrolled, but no words come. Plomina weapons her trees and heard your also. We are your real partner, and we love you more than words can even say. The room was still no unbolted. Evangelia looked at the pictures again, then a Plomina, then a resort, and then the exclaimed from a place no one could see, from years of pain, from days of hunger, from nights spoke under buoyancy and beyond market. She exclaimed for the child that was abandoned warped her arms around her danger and help. He chose it a resort joined them, and they cried together as a family. That night, Ebongeli slept with a work blanket for the first time in years. Evangeli remembered could most days sitting by the window of her new room in their luxury mansion. It was hard to believe it how much her life had changed. Witnessed day from sleep underground to still wet ship, from being hunted like an animal to being protected like a trusted. But the teams had lived. The screams were just on her skin. They ran deep into her heart. Clomina and Resort see everything God wins world, but Evangeli remembered distance. Her not still looked in the glimpse of everything she had intended. One morning, Clomina got a call from Johnson, the man who had once called himself Evangeline's father. He was weeping. They were in a hospital nearby. Sosmina, his wife, had fallen terribly ill, and with her loss strong, she has begun to see Evangeli again. Plomina was hesitant, but Evangeli surprised everything when she arranged to go. At the hospital, Sosina lay on a frongly bed, barely breathing. Her easy lit up the moment Evangeli entered the strongest. Her head weakly. My danger, I cannot. I was never you a mother. She's not which it, but I leave it you. I mean when broke way. I don't feel it evangelists easy. Sosmina choice painful then looked at Plomina and resort. Please forgive us. We are hungry. We won't scan out. She was you. We trust we are saving here. Evangeli walked slowly towards Sasina. Look here, Hannah, gallantly and for the first time said something that shocked everything. I forgive you. I was, if teased word, carried herding I most immediately. Sasmina brought Startled her choice rose and filled more easily. I near entered moment later, Cricken here betwixt and Blanket in surprise. She is tumbling the near side. This is an exported Johnson field to his cannon. Thank you, which pair hands closed. I am not despite your kindness, but I am a gutterful. Result stooped forward and lifted Johnson to his feet. It's never too late to do what right. Before leaving the hospital, Evangeli did something no one expected. She hungers. Johnson, the man who owns explosions here for a big for rice, still frozen, then slowly warped his arms around her, sobbing like a child. Back home, the winds on Evangeline's choice began to lift. One morning, she woke up to a strong sound, chilling a language outside. She pierced, tossed the window, and saw a ground of steel kent behind heated fraud and clothed by plowmen and resolved. They had stronger a small outreach to help Hungary children in the around some on their side Evangeli had inspired. Their kids remains out of what you want toast. Plomina told her, if we can stop even one child from voicing what you did, it's worth it. Evangeli smiled gallantly this time. Later that day, she joined them outside helping distribute food. For the first time in her life, Evangeli did feed like the guard who had been sold. She felt like the guard who had choice for some on a guitar. She looked at Resort, them at Plomina and Wichpia. Thank you for funding me. Resort placing a guitarly hand on her short-hand. You we are lost. Evangeli, you we are just waiting to be found. For the first time in many years, Plessy restored over the home of Resort and Plomina. Evangeli was finally where she plunged safe love and no longer broken. But Resort and Plomina cannot the cold just choice. The door on the past. They had been given back their danger and they believed it was time to give back to others. The first turning they did was return to Jensen and Sonsina home, this time not in search of Evangeli, but in Gathanti resort stock in from of the small compelling building and looked at the AV cops who had all made a disappointed choice of survival. We come to stay thank you resort there has voice study. You may not have canal. Evangeli was our danger, but you took her in when she was abandoned. You have here a chance to live, and for that we own you everything. Teach ran fairly down. Sonsina check as the held her hands to her chest. Johnson coldly spoke. Plomina stopped forward and hunger Sonsina Ganardi. No more strongly from today. You are part of the family. In the week the flow resounded and Plomina gave Johnson and his family a new house in town and strongly productively business for whom they also got Sasina proper medical care and places here on a sturdy weakness plan. Slowly their life began to transform. Evangeli now hurled in body and spirit to it upon herself to help kick down living on the stage. Every weakness she and Plomina would proffer admit and distinguishably then to lose probably family. Arrange to resound splendid school fields for many of them, and a small slough was built named Evangelists. One day, as they walked towards to nearly built community center filled with something children eventually turned to her partner and said, I want to spend my life began the kind it person I needed when I say suffering. Plomina had her choice, and then externally who you be become everywhere she wants. People get hurt here, not just a resort and Plomina danger, but as a life that resorts to go out. Oh, no matter how dark the night had been, every life mattered, no matter how broken or abducted a person may see there come gloria and purpose. Beyond imagination, a single act of communion can change the choice of someone. A life forward many and confirms nothing if we can use them to toast to live of trees around us. This story cannot be destroyed. Every weird loss, forgotten, or reject what is meant of you will allow find its way back. If you enjoyed this story and learned someone from it, please people a comment, don't forget to like, share, and follow. Take Obeli life story for more inspiring and emotional story like this. Thank you so much for your time and support.